If you haven't had any relationship with your neighbour, you don't really talk to one another, you might occasionally just do the hello in the street. Going over when you see them outside is often a good way to do it, because you're not interrupting them when they're in the middle of something else. If you see your neighbour out doing the garden, or if you don't feel comfortable or there isn't an opportunity to do that, maybe leaving a note in their letterbox and just introducing yourself first of all, because you might not know each other on a first name basis, and saying, hi, I'm Sally from next door. I'd like to have a chat to you about the fence, so letting them know what it's about. A good time for me is, and you can come over or you can call me. So it's important that you feel comfortable as well in the way you're going to communicate with them. And if you're not someone who's comfortable with people coming over, then a phone call might be the better way to go.
Well, the first piece of advice I'd like to give is to just really realise that what you're there to do is to work on the problem at hand. So it might be a fencing dispute, it might be overhanging tree branches. So if it's someone you don't know, just remember that you're there to sort of get the problem solved. So don't focus too much on the other person themselves, because you don't know what type of personality they have. They might be completely open to working with you, they may be a little bit reluctant, but don't try to assume too much about your neighbour. So work on the actual problem. So work out what it is that is bothering you, what it is that would help you out the most. So work out what it is that you want, and then go and approach your neighbour.
To solve a problem with somebody that you don't know, the starting point needs to be actually understanding what the problem is. So clarifying with the other person what the problem is, being clear yourself what you think the issue at hand is. So that's the beginning point.
It's not uncommon for neighbours who share a boundary to not necessarily talk amongst each other. But generally just a friendly chat, or maybe a letter in the letterbox indicating what you propose to do, and that they're able to come around and have a chat to you to discuss the issues at hand, is generally a way of bridging that gap.
Well, can I ask you the question, you've lived next door to your neighbours for a long time, why haven't you spoken to them? Why haven't you at least put a hand up and said, g'day, how you going? You don't have to live in each other's back pockets, but why haven't you talked to your neighbour? And I think one of the problems that we've got in our community and our society is that people don't find the time to just put a hand up and say, g'day, how are you? And it's so important. And you don't have to socialise with your neighbours. You don't have to go out and have a beer with them every second night or every night. But I think a cordial relationship's important. And you never know when you may have to rely on your neighbour to look after your house while you're away. There's a good security aspect that doesn't cost you anything. And you don't know when you may have to go and talk to your neighbour about replacing a fence or cutting down a tree. And I think a good working relationship with a neighbour is excellent, apart from the possibilities of having a social relationship. But I think it's all about respect too. Respecting your neighbour, saying good day to them, giving them a wave, whatever. I think it's important as far as neighbourhood relationships go.